triple-digit wins. My gosh, that is tough to accomplish in motorsports. When you think about all the greats that have won races, and we have been blessed in the sprint car world, all of the racing worlds, but to accomplish triple-digit wins and then to do it at one track, but other tracks, you're right up in that vicinity as well. Well, that is something really, really special. And that's what we're going to talk about this week on Wing Nation, presented by Dryden and DRF Racing Oils here from the Hercules Tires Studios. We're going to talk to Lance Dewease, not only about Win 100 at Williams Grove, but, well, they got a big weekend coming up there as well with Williams Grove and Port Royal, and he'll be looking for 101 on Friday night. So we're going to talk to Lance Dewease. Allison McKinney sitting in for Aaron Evernham. How are you? Good to see you.
I'm doing good. Good to see you, too. Thanks for having me back.
Always great to hang out, that's for sure. Talking sprint car racing and Pennsylvania, such an incredible place. You actually shared with me before we went on the air that a couple years ago, your father just went up to Pennsylvania and hung out watching Pennsylvania Speedway. That is such a rich, historic place.
Absolutely. Yeah, they went up there and just went from track to track and went and stopped in shops and visited people and got to see a bunch of guys that he used to race with. So yeah, it was definitely a good time.
That's the fun part about this weekend. On Friday night is the Davey Brown tribute race.
Yep.
And then Saturday night and Sunday night is the Weikert Memorial.
Yep.
And so you talk about historic Pennsylvania, Weikert, Davey Brown. Boy, I'll tell you what, you got a lot of it right there. And Lance Dewease, we're going to talk to Lance.
Absolutely.
And, that's what we're going to spend a lot of today talking about, because I want to talk a little bit about Davey Brown. But I want to talk about the Weikerts, and I think Lance might have driven for him one time. I think that might be it, if I'm not mistaken. But I'll talk about that, and of course that big 100th win at Williams Grove, 100 win at one track.
That's incredible.
Especially a difficult place like Williams Grove, where some guys just can't ever figure it out.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, it's just like, wow, it's so amazing, and Lance certainly has it figured out. That is for sure. We will chat with him. Before we do that, though, let's take a listen to this one. It was the World of Outlaw NOS Energy Drink Sprint Cars Saturday night at Sharon Speedway. Sheldon Hodgeshield with the lead, the Buckeye Bullet stalking him. We kind of know what happened on this one. Here's Johnny Gibson with the call on Dirt Vision.
And now for the Dryden death-defying move of the week, where one driver simply amazes us with their on-track moves.
Blaney to the bottom in 1 and 2. Sheldon on the cushion out of turn 2 for the final time. Sheldon Hodgeshield taps the wall. Blaney gets by to take the lead. Into 3 and 4, checkered flag will wave. Dave Blaney wins at Sharon, his first outlaw win since 1997.
That death-defying move was brought to you by Dryden Diesel All Def, the official def of the World of Outlaws and wheelmen everywhere. Visit Dryden.com for more information.
For decades, Dryden Lubricants has been made in America and made to last, paving the way on our highways, in our fields, and on the production line. Today, Dryden offers a complete line of engine oils, greases, hydraulic and transmission fluids, and diesel exhaust fluid. If you want greater performance and protection for your critical engines and equipment, go to Dryden.com. Dryden, American-owned and operated, and a proud supporter of racing and race fans everywhere. Citywide to countryside, whatever you drive, wherever you go, Hercules has the value, selection, and industry-leading warranty to get you there no matter where the road takes you. Go to HerculesTires.com. There you can find the nearest authorized Hercules retail location to you. Plus, you can use the tire tracker to find out which Hercules tire fits your vehicle the best. That's HerculesTires.com. Hercules Tires, ride on our strength. The Sage Fruit Hotline is where we're going. This is Wing Nation, presented by Dryden, by DRF Racing Oils. And let's get to it, because joining us fresh off from Win 100 at Williams Grove, Hall of Famer Lance Dewease is on the line. Hello, Lance. Welcome back to Wing Nation.
Well, thanks for having me on again.
Always good to chat with you. Has to be good. You guys have been running good. You've been running strong. You've been close. It has to be good to finally get this one checked off so you can work on number 101.
Well, yeah, it sure has. We kind of been chasing it since last year, and like you said, we've been pretty good. We ran really good at the Grove and all of our big shows. We had a second, the All-Stars, a second and third against the Outlaws. So it's always good to kind of reach the milestone that we kind of shoot for, and now we can move on.
No doubt. No doubt, it really truly is.
Yeah, absolutely. Incredible. Now can you tell Shots how to do that so people will quit talking about it?
Well, I feel like we both kind of were going through the same thing that, he's been chasing it since last October, his 300th, and he's been in position. That's how racing is sometimes. It just, it just don't always work out how you think it should, And we kind of been the same way at the Grove. We've been there, we've been in position, but just hasn't happened until this past Friday.
And man, that 100th win was spectacular. The way that you took that lead and those moves that you made, you put on a clinic, that's for sure.
Well, yeah, we've been pretty good actually on restarts and starts there at the Grove this year, and we're probably not as good racing that we've been in years past there, but we have speed in the car, so the other stuff will eventually take care of itself.
Yeah. When it's just can you describe just the importance of restarts and getting a start like that, Lance? As difficult as the competition is, it's so critical to do that.
It is. The competition is so close today, in all motorsports. But it just, starts are everything. We had a good first start and went from fourth to the lead, and then we kept having restarts. It seemed like 5, 6 in a row, run a lap and have a caution. And the problem with that is sooner or later the guy behind you, he has nothing to lose. He'll time something and figure it out and get lucky. Even in the one restart, I didn't have a very good restart, and actually Danny got alongside me through 1 and 2, and we fortunately beat him off the corner. And then after that, my next start was a better start, and it just tried to change you up. He can change you up so much.
No doubt, really tricky, that's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And then this weekend you got the All-Stars coming to town, so nice to check that off your list before they come into town and you're ready to go.
Well, it actually is really nice to check it off the list, because not only do we have the All-Stars coming in town this Friday at Williams Grove is my mechanics race. Davey Brown's being honored by Williams Grove Speedway, and it's his race. So we definitely want to try to win that one for him. So having the 100 out of the way helps. That's one less thing we have to worry about. Now we can move on to try to win this Friday for him.
How to somebody who knows very little about sprint car racing, how would you describe Davey Brown to them?
I would describe him as a very laid-back individual that has a drive in him that I've never seen in nobody at that age. And he could be sitting home, not doing nothing, and relaxing, but he shows up at all of our races and he works on that race car. He's just not there telling people what to do. He works on the race car. So it kind of makes you want to do a better job when you see somebody like that working very hard at that age and trying to be competitive, and he still gets fired up about it. So he's very low key, very mild mannered. This Friday's probably not going to be a good day for him because he don't like all this stuff that they're going to be doing Friday with all the people that's coming in to see him and all this stuff. But he's just amazing to me because he's different when it comes to mechanic wise. He worries about the race cars. He don't worry about if the driver's doing this or the driver's doing that. He worries about trying to make the race car the fastest it can be.
A couple of years ago, I kind of dumb luck took a picture of him with his tape measure out, just looking at the car. And I said, everyone better batten down the hatches because Davey broke out the tape measure. The funny thing of it is that just seems so elementary in 2021 when there's simulation and laptops and everything, but it's still the case. How is he adapted as an old school tape measure guy to all of the new technology? And I know sprint cars haven't changed a lot compared to other forms, but there's still a lot of new stuff on these cars.
The biggest thing he does is watches the race car and does what the race car wants. And he is not stuck in his ways, as I would say. Some guys will you have a race car, they set it up this way. If it's not fast, it's the driver's fault or it's the engine's fault or whatever. He works on the race car. He'll come back and say, man, that thing's not very good, even if we're fast. You know what I mean? He'll come back and, there's been plenty of times I've been in victory lane and he's not happy with the race car. Yeah, and to me, that's the key to everything. You have to know if you're good or not. And just because you're winning don't mean you're good. And, so he knows if we're fast or not, and he knows where we need to improve at. And they go to work on it. And one of the reasons we've been racing a little bit more on Fridays is they think we need to improve in areas. And so we're kind of doing a little bit of R&D and stuff to help try to get better for later in the year.
That's so interesting to me that you say that he's not stuck in his ways and that he's open to to trying new things or different avenues. Because I feel like a lot of those guys that have been around for a while, they go back to what they know. They just kind of reset, old school racers. And so I think that's really interesting that he's kind of a mix of the two, that he's been open to that. So it sounds like you've learned an awful lot from him too.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you pay attention, you're going to learn from anybody. And I pay attention to how he does things, what he looked at. We might have difference in opinions or theories on certain things at times, but the biggest thing about him, like I said, is, if it don't work, he don't stick with it. He'll do something to try and make it better. Don't matter if it makes it better or worse. He'll make a change. So, and that's the biggest thing I see with him. And he knows, if the motors don't run or do run, that's the other thing that maybe the advantage he has over some other people is he can tell just by the sound or watching the car if the motor's actually running good or not. We won a ton of races in my 5 years of being there without a motor ever being dynoed when he was building them. He don't build them now just because of his age, and it's just very hard for him to do. But we've won a ton of races without a motor ever being on a dyno, and he can tell if it runs or not.
That is absolutely amazing. It really is. And I want to take this opportunity because we're talking about Davey, but then we transitioned from the Davey Brown tribute race to the Weikert Memorial, and well, the connection is right there as well. Bob Weikert, team owner, Davey Brown mechanic, whoever the driver was, a lot of times it was Doug Wolfgang, and that just is absolutely where Davey made his name for himself over there at Weikert. Lance, that was just a lethal combination.
It sure was. A lot of people might not realize that's how kind of who kept me in racing when I first started was Weikert. Where I grew up and where the race shop was probably was only 15, 20 minutes away from me. So when Davey and Davey Brown Jr., we always called him Junior, his boy,
yep.
Was working on the car, I'd go over there and buy used parts from him and Doug, and that kind of kept me in racing. But it's pretty funny because I have a picture of the photo of the center out of the Open Wheel magazine that talks about the Dream Team back then. I still have that today, so it's kind of just neat to see that and then see where we're at with him. And he just that's probably where he got recognized at. But man, his results before that time was pretty stout too.
No doubt. I mean, it goes back before that, but Bob was the one that would stand on the front stretch and scream and holler, and Doug was the one that was putting it in victory lane where Bob could scream and holler. So it was, and Davey, I can't imagine Davey with Bob Weikert out there doing what he did though.
Davey just goes to work. He just don't worry about it. I don't know how much mechanically wise he was doing on the Weikert car at the time. He was doing all the motors, and of course he would help when he was around. But when they went and travel, he didn't travel all the time with them. That was his boy doing that. But he puts his head down, just goes to work. He don't worry about nothing else. He's not in it for the limelight to say, and it's just just the way he was.
That's amazing. It really is. So then we wrap up Williams Grove on Friday night, and then it's over to Port Royal. $10,000 to win on Saturday night, $29,000 to win on Sunday night. Man, there's a whole lot of money on the line and a whole bunch of all-stars. When you look at Port Royal, how do you feel like you have been here recently up at the Speed Palace?
We've been okay. It's just really tricky up there right now with how the track gets. They reclayed it from my understanding. I haven't been back up since they did that, and they supposedly changed it a little bit more. Move it. They're always messing with it a little bit. So we'll wait and see. I mean, I'm very happy this year with the speed we have in our car for qualifying. I was really happy with how we qualified against the Outlaws. We went out late in every group and timed good enough and put ourselves in a good position. So I was really happy with that. Our motors we have this year really seem to be running really good on the racetrack, and I think that's a big advantage we have this year compared to last year. Last year we kind of were messing with some different things and maybe didn't have the best running stuff on the racetrack at certain times, and it hurt us a little bit. But this year we kind of got all of our stuff together in line and really running good.
Cool stuff. Good stuff, that's for sure. We look forward to it. And I'm not going to steal any thunder from it because, folks, you'll need to tune in Saturday night, but we've got a very special Wing Nation from the Weikert, presented by Dryden. We're going to sit down and another great historical Pennsylvania figure. We're going to have you and Walter Dyer on the stage together on Saturday night. I'm looking forward to that because, boy, I'll tell you what, while you're having success with Donald and Davey, you had a lot of success in Walt's car as well.
Well, yeah, as everybody knows, he gave me my biggest break in my career. And, we get to honor him next week. Not this coming weekend, the following weekend at Knoxville when he gets inducted into the Hall of Fame. So I'm looking forward to that weekend. And but he's a good man, very good man, and very good dry sense of humor. So it'll probably be a pretty interesting interview with him and me.
Looking forward to it. Really, truly am. And you're going out to Knoxville next week for the induction ceremony. Are you with him?
Yes, I'm actually racing the Grove on Friday night now, so we have to fly out early Saturday morning. And I'll be there by the time before he accepts the award for being inducted.
Very cool.
How's it been? You went out there to get inducted yourself, but what's it like going out there with someone like that to watch them get inducted?
Well, I've never been before to watch somebody else get inducted.
Oh, okay.
So I can't really say that, but their whole family was out there when I got inducted. Just kind of show you the relationship we have. Their whole family was out there when I got inducted. My whole family's going out for his induction. My plans just changed a little bit now with us racing next Friday at the Grove. So I had to make some arrangements and try to find an early flight to get out there in time. But we found one. We're going to be pushing it, but we'll be there in time.
That is great. That is great. The Hall of Fame.
That's a great story,
Amazing
too.
place, isn't it? That Hall of Fame. Gosh, I'll tell you what. It was like, when I always get a kick out of Fred Raymer describing it. Yeah, I got inducted in the Hall of Fame. It means I got to go out there. He says, once I got out there, I found I was pretty stinking cool,
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's true. Because, I'm telling you, when, I knew I was getting inducted and all that. Yeah, it was nice. Really don't set it until you go out there. And I mean, we all been to the Hall of Fame before, but when you go out there, and the neatest thing about when I was inducted is when you're sitting there listening to them talk about the other people when they're getting inducted, like Scott Gherkin, who I raced against, for a little bit of my career. I didn't realize some of the stuff he done. You know what I mean? It's so neat to learn the background of these other great people that are getting, inducted into the Hall of Fame. And it'll be interesting this year to, sit there and listen to some of the other stuff for other people that's getting inducted that you go, wow, that's pretty amazing. You know what I mean? That's what really blows me away is when I was out there for mine was sitting there and listening to the other inductees get, their background and what they'd come through and all that stuff.
Cool stuff, that's for sure. Lance, we look forward to catching up with you this weekend up at Port Royal. We wish you the best Friday night, trying to win Davey's tribute race, and then we'll talk to you on Saturday up there on the stage. But always appreciate the time joining us here on Wing Nation.
Well, thanks a lot for having me. I'll see you guys this weekend.
Looking forward to it. Lance Dewease. Boy, I'm telling you what, they just don't come any better than him.
Absolutely.
He just is. And that team, I mean, it is unreal. Lance and Donald Kreitz and Davey Brown. I mean, it's just amazing how they continue to take the world by storm. Took the world a couple of years ago when they went to Knoxville, when they won the Priority Aviation Challenge out there. And just watching them at Knoxville and watching everyone react to them at Knoxville, I don't know what was more entertaining. It was just great to see.
Just the history on that one team, just
It's
those
insane.
names that you named right there. I'd like to know what their combined win total is.
God. Well, it's funny, listen, to talk about it. He talked about the picture he has from Open Wheel magazine of Bob Weikert, Davey Brown Sr., the engine builder, Davey Jr., the chassis man, and Doug Wolfgang. They called it the Dream Team.
Absolutely.
Well, here we are, fast forward 30 years later,
The
and
new one.
he's Davey Brown's the same guy.
Yeah.
But it's amazing. Great stuff. Never a bad chance to talk with Lance Dewease. Over the years, Dryden has stood for uncompromised value and proven performance. Known as the hardest working brand in heavy-duty lubrication, Dryden's heritage is made in America and made to last. Dryden products work to increase the life and enhance the efficiency of your equipment in the toughest conditions. Learn more about Dryden's products at Dryden.com. From grassroots racing to NASCAR, Dryden is a proud supporter of racing everywhere. For a year-round high-quality eating experience, look no further than Sage Fruit apples, pears, and cherries. Not only is their produce healthy, but they are grown with such care and precision that you can count on each piece of fruit having exceptional flavor. Sage Fruit, it's our first choice for quick and easy snacking. Wing Nation rolling along, we talked about it, and Lance actually talked about the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum induction ceremony. That is coming up next weekend. The induction class is Greg Hodnett, Tim Schaefer, Jeff Swindell, Walt Dyer, Paul Leffler, Don Lamberti, Spencer Riggs, and Bill Cummings. So what a great class. SprintCarHOF.com. That's SprintCarHOF.com. And you can still get tickets for it, but it's next Saturday, the 31st Annual National Sprint Car Hall of Fame induction ceremony. Hodnett, Schaefer, Jeff Swindell batten down the hatches when he gets the microphone. Oh boy,
yeah,
might turn into a Trump rally the last time, you know. But that's a great group. That really truly is, and some great champions there. When we look at the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame birthday calendar, yesterday Jack Gunn, Casey Luna, Jimmy Sills. Later this week, Eddie Sachs, Deb Snyder. Today is the birthday of Dr. Dick Bergeron, a 2002 inductee into the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame. We all think of Dr. Dick with Stock Car Racing, Open Wheel Magazine. We all think about him with Fox Sports and CBS and all the work he did. I love it. 24 sprint car wins at Beach Ridge. He's a sprint car guy.
I know, incredible. It's incredible how many of those people that are now associated with different forms of motorsports, but what they really started with and what their true passion is sprint car racing.
And his true passion, sprint car racing.
Absolutely.
I'll never forget when we launched Wing Nation back in 2011. And there was a press release or something about it when MRN Dick was still calling races on Fox. And he literally came sprinting across the garage area. So good that MRN is doing this sprint car racing. Because when you look at it, in 1977, he became the editor of Stock Car Racing magazine, and that was the magazine for motorsports. But his passion for open wheel racing, 5 years later, he was so instrumental in Open Wheel magazine coming along. And that was the Bible for years and years and years. I mean, this is pre-web and pre-hose heads and pre-all of this.
Yeah.
This was back where you had to wait till once a month. You had to wait till Thursday or Friday to get your Speed Sport News, your Area Auto, and then you had to wait once a month to get your Open Wheel. Yep. He was so important to that. He was also part of the color commentary crew with Pat Patterson on the Slick 50 series. So Dick Bergeron, and forever enshrined at the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum, one sprint car place in Knoxville, Iowa. All right. Wow. We won't get to all of this. Upcoming schedule. Let's hit some of the high water marks, if you will. Flow Racing All-Star Circuit of Champions. We just talked about it. Friday night, the Davey Brown tribute race, $10,000 to win. Saturday night, Weikert Memorial Fallen Heroes night. Sunday night, Weikert Memorial finale, $29,000 to win on Sunday night. It is the Flow Racing All-Star Circuit of Champions versus the Pennsylvania Posse, and whoever else shows up. We never know what's going to happen. When you put that amount of money on the line, anybody is fair game.
Absolutely.
And it's going to be interesting to see what's going on. And we will have live shows, 5 o'clock Eastern time from the stage, right behind the grandstand area. It'll be streamed on Flow Racing and Wing Nation's Facebook Live page. Also, we will have Wing Nation gear.
Oh, yeah. Show them new shirts.
Show them the shirts. Oh, yeah. 10th anniversary gear. 10th anniversary. Look at that. Look at the back of that thing. Looks good. Now, this is the one that I like. Ashley and Aaron, they like the ones with palm trees or the orange one.
I want that one.
We can go to wingnation.com.
Yeah, absolutely. I got to get that one.
You can go to wingnation.com and get that, or at all of the All-Star races. So big weekend for the Flow Racing All-Stars. World of Outlaw NOS Energy Drink Sprint Cars, Friday night Terre Haute Action Track. You said you might sneak over to that?
I'm going to try to. Yeah, I'm going to go to Indy this weekend and help out a friend with some stuff at the big track, but then I'm going to try and make it to the dirt track on Friday night.
Nice. Good for you. And then the World of Outlaws Monday at Lawrenceburg. Man, that's always a
tradition.
Great race. That's a great traditional
Absolutely.
race. Man, that race that Shane Stewart and Kyle Larson gave each other when Shane was driving for Kyle.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. That may be one of the best sprint car races we've ever seen. I mean,
Absolutely.
It was so good. Great stuff. Lucas Oil ASCS National Tour, Saturday and Sunday. They're in Eldon, Missouri. It is a combo platter with the Warrior Region, Lake Ozark Speedway. And Sunday night, $10,000 to win for our friends with the Lucas Oil ASCS National Tour. I can't wait. Later this year, I'm going on a weekend with those guys.
Oh, really?
In
That's
Arkansas,
awesome.
In Arkansas, Little Rock, I-30, and West Memphis.
Oh, West Memphis. That's Swindell Stenhouse, Hooker Hood territory there.
Yes, no doubt about it. I'm going to go over there and soak it all up. That's for sure. We don't have to wait long for racing here. Tonight, fast racing, the KC Classic at Atomic Speedway, 20,000 to win. I just saw it's on Flow Racing.
Yeah.
So that'll kick us off here tonight. Let's see. Attica, Jacksonville, Lernerville, Ohio Valley Speedway, River Cities, some of the 410 races on Friday. Butler, Fremont, Lincoln, Mercer, Pittsburgh, Knoxville on Saturday night. 141, Huset's. There's a sprint car race, and that's just the 410.
There's no excuses not to get out to a sprint car race because they are everywhere. It's the best time of the year.
Yeah, my buddy TJ Slideways, he has the calendar, and
Yep.
I just go on that calendar. I'm like, well, I'd like to go to that. I'd like to go to that. I'd like to do that. So if you're not familiar or not knowing that there's a sprint car race in your area, go to our friend TJ Slideways' site. He's got the calendar there. And there's a sprint car race in your neighborhood. I can
sure.
nearly promise you there's a sprint car race nearby.
This time last year we were begging for
my
races.
God, a year ago. You think about it. Yeah.
And now, I mean, there's something good on Flow, Dirt Vision. I mean, every night of the week.
It's crazy. It really is. Good stuff. That is for sure. So fun stuff. Appreciate you filling in for Aaron this week.
Absolutely.
Always great to hang
Thanks for
out.
having me back.
Yes, exactly. I hope you have a really fun weekend at Indy.
Yeah.
Indy 500 is one I'd like to check off the bucket list, but I've never done it before.
Absolutely.
But,
I had never gone either because I was always here working in the Coca-Cola 600.
Right.
So my very first one was Danica's last race. I got to
Really? Oh, you got to do that.
Yeah, I got to work that race. So it's incredible.
Yeah, I got to get there, but right now Port Royal calls, and that's all right with me too.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
well, I'll be watching. I'll be watching your live shows. So
5 o'clock.
Really excited about
5
that.
o'clock Eastern time. Great live shows from Port Royal. Coming up also this weekend on our television program presented by Sage Fruit. Brett Marks joins us. So great stuff for sure. Thanks to Lance Dewease for joining us here on Wing Nation, the podcast presented by Dryden and DRF Racing Oils. But more important than all of that, thank you for joining us this week here on Wing Nation.